Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Community Health. We have 8 locations to serve you better. Our staff is dedicated to help you and your family. Here's your host, Vicki Soulé.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Community Conversations. You know, each week we scour the network to see who haven't we talked to recently. What would be a good thing for us to bring to you as listeners that would be informative and helpful to you? And I can't believe I'm saying this, but we have never had the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council on board. And through a luck of fate, a couple of members had an interesting conversation. And so I'm pleased to welcome Tom as the executive director. And Tom Lanahan, thank you. I'm bad with names. And Terry Ann, you are the coordinator.
Yes, I'm the Disaster Economic Recovery Coordinator, yes.
Wow, that's a big title.
Yes, it's a mouthful.
It is a big title.
We're going to have a lot to talk about, I can tell.
Yes.
So, Tom, I have to admit that I have not been aware of your organization. So tell us a little bit about it and how long it's been in existence, so I don't feel too bad that it's been 55 years or something.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. So we're the Regional Planning Council, Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council. There are a total of 10 regional planning councils across the state.
Okay.
We're authorized by state statute. Every county in the state is in one regional planning council.
Okay.
So we're divided up that way. Again, authorized by state statute, governed by an interlocal agreement for our 4 counties. So we cover Indian River, St. Lucie, Martin, and Palm Beach County.
Okay, so it's from us south this time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically Sebastian to Boca Raton along the coast there. And we work in a number of different areas. Growth management, planning, intergovernmental coordination, transportation policy.
Growth is definitely the topic of the day.
Huge issue. We're growing again very rapidly right now. Emergency management, economic development, and resiliency.
Wow.
So we cover all those different areas.
And so you're the folks that bring us all together and make sure that we're sort of singing in sync.
That's a goal, as well as
easier said than done, Jerry.
Sometimes, yes. As well as looking to help if there's situations where a conflict develops between, for example, a city and a county. We're a neutral party, and I don't have regulatory authority. We don't have taxing authority.
That's why I haven't heard of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
So we're able to come in as that neutral party and resolve differences, or really ideally head off differences before they reach a point of conflict.
Yeah, and I can certainly understand that, because even in Lagoon Health, we hear about different things that are happening across the different counties. And sometimes you do have to scratch your head and say, are we in concert with one or another, or is this objective sort of off-putting the other one?
Right, and for things like water, air quality, transportation, those sorts of things, jurisdictional boundaries don't matter. The water doesn't care where the city limit is.
Right.
And so we're able to bridge across those boundaries. And then at the northern, western, and southern ends of the regions, we work with our neighboring regional planning councils and address those cross.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes, so we work very closely with the other.
Adds sort of a statewide perspective to things.
Right, and we meet virtually just about monthly, and then as a statewide body twice a year. Delegates from all the councils get together and really look at what's our common issues, and also information sharing of what have you encountered. One of the interesting things about our region, our 4-county region, is in some ways it's you can kind of predict the future. in the north end of the region by looking at issues that have arisen in the south end of the region. There's things that happen in Palm Beach County that, 10 years later start to happen, counties to the north, those kind of things. And so it's good information sharing also.
So you're not really getting directives from the state. The state endorsed this kind of planning council, but it really is a question of what the members need and want. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. We have, through the statutory authorization, we have a very broad playing field, if you will, of issues that we can take on. And so what we actually work on is what the council directs us to do. So that the council is made up of county commissioners, city council people, and gubernatorial appointees. Who are typically private industry representatives. And when we work on our policy discussions and work plans each year, they provide that direction of what our critical issues are. For example, we're involved in coral reef health issues because we have a remarkable coral reef off the coast from Martin down through Monroe counties. The Central Florida Regional Planning Council doesn't really work on that because they don't have a reef.
Right.
So
we're more concerned with the manatees and the seagrass beds and those types of things.
And there's regional councils that run the disadvantaged bus service, for example. That's not something that we do. Our MPOs and our county transportation departments do that, but there's other parts of the state where they just don't have that capability. So the Regional Planning Council does that for the community.
And again, learning from each other what works, what doesn't work. I would imagine data collection as well through the planning councils. You don't have as much duplicity as you might otherwise with each county doing their own, although I guess they do.
They do. Yeah, they certainly do. They collect their own information. There are, in our economic development plan, for example, there's about 25 different metrics that we use to try and have a finger on the economic health of the region. And we coordinated that list of metrics with all the 10 regional planning councils. So there should be comparability between the regions. And so we can see, different areas might be having success in different parts of those metrics. And we can also collect that data and accumulate that across the whole state.
And if someone was interested in seeing that, is it available online, or do you have to, be a county commissioner to see it?
Oh no, it's our economic development strategy, as well as the annual data updates that we do each year on it is on our website. It is available there, and as well as a lot of the. I think I left out in describing what we do, and they'll be upset back at the office. But one of the other things that we do is urban design and downtown revitalization. And so I was going to say those plans are also available on the website. So is that
website title as long as her title?
No, it's quite short. It's tcrpc.org.
Oh, that is quite short.
Yes.
TCRP. Regional Planning Council.
So Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council acronym.
Okay.
So we've got, over 20 years worth of downtown revitalization plans on there.
And so who's the next one with the Bright Line coming through? Are there more downtown plans churning?
We have 2 efforts underway right now. Both of them are in Palm Beach County. We are working with City of Lake Worth Beach on it's interesting, macro and micro scale. So just a few lots that their community redevelopment agency owns in their downtown that they've been really struggling with as a community to figure out what to do there. So we're helping them through that process.
So it sounds like our power plant lots.
Yes, exactly. Very, very similar effort. And then for the town of Lantana, which is just south of them in central Palm Beach County, we're doing a master plan for the entire town. It's been many, many years since they've kind of come together as a community and said, what would we like to be as we grow older, and what things are important to us now, what things should we revisit, that sort of thing. So that's community wide, and we're well underway on that too.
So you're a coordinator. What kinds of
Yes.
things do you coordinate as we talk about these things?
Sure. So I was actually brought on because of the COVID pandemic. So the disaster in my title is the COVID pandemic. So it's what I've done so far is every year we have a update to our comprehensive economic development strategy plan.
Which you just gave me the draft
Yes,
of. I'm
yes.
so excited. I can't wait to read it.
Yes. So last year, we added a resiliency component to it. We formed a task force group of members of all 4 counties, and we came together and decided what should go into this plan and how to prepare and recover from future disasters, pandemics.
Whatever. We're not sure, are we?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I first came to Vero, I was working at the hospital, and at that time, there was a lot of concern about the material that was being sent on the freight trains, and if one of them got in an accident,
Yep.
and we had mass casualty drills at the hospital. Has some of that concern shifted in terms of potential disasters and things that the counties work on as potential plans through this planning council?
Sure. I would say that those concerns are still there. We do hazardous material safety planning is one of the things that we do.
Okay.
There's a good chance that those exercises that you participated in years ago, that we were actually involved in,
Probably.
in doing those, because that is something that we do.
Okay.
And we will do annually or semi-annually a tabletop type stuff, which is where you lay out a scenario that different groups come together and you kind of make believe that things are happening, and then on a less frequent basis, but it does happen every few years, we do a full scale exercise that involves actually going out in the field and running scenarios and
does
things
that
like
rotate then among the counties each time you do it?
Yes.
Sort of?
Yeah. We do 2 things. It'll rotate among the counties, and then there also will be an effort to involve different pieces of the different counties, because what we're testing in those exercises are the adequacy of the pre-planning that's been done, and then especially interagency communication and cooperation. Because these disasters, they take everybody, they take all hands being involved, but often involve groups that don't normally on a day-to-day basis work together, especially when you're going, across a county line.
That's just what I was thinking.
A city in Indian River County and the Indian River County Sheriff's Office work together all the time.
Right.
When I'm involving, an agency from another county, maybe not so often. And so it builds those partnerships. It's recognition of who you're interacting with, other resources that are out there. The one that we did a couple of years ago, we actually there's a chemical safety and security function that happens with the I believe they're the part of the National Guard. I think it's Air National Guard that is located here in Florida. It's a tremendous resource, and so we were able to bring them to bear. And professionals in the business, were not even aware, some of them, that this resourse existed. So it was nice to expose that to everybody.
Yeah,
and kind of try it out.
I don't want to cut you off,
No,
but
that's okay.
we do have to take a moment, word from our sponsors, and then we'll come back. This is great information to think about, though, and understand.
Okay, thank you.
Many women forego their own health care, giving their time to family and friends. And some forego health care for financial reasons, with not enough income for basic necessities and their own medical needs. I'm Vicki Soulé, CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, and I'm giving in honor of my mom, who taught me the value of early cancer detection. Join me in gifting healthcare to women. Visit tcchinc.org and donate to honor the women in your life.
At At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs, including lots of slipcover styles from Universal, Four Seasons, and Capri. We also have a gallery of Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture with styles designed for a relaxed approach to the finer things in life. Right now, we're having a summer sale with lots of great markdowns, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet and closeout store directly across the street and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day. Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
I love that I can sit in my car and wait for my appointment to renew my driver's license. No more lines, no hassle. Hey, I made my appointment online and it's going to alert me when it's my turn. Gotta go.
Hello, I'm Carol Jean Jordan, your tax collector here in Indian River County. To help you get in and out faster, we are introducing our new customer service system. Here, you can make appointments, check in remotely, or choose to wait in your car or in our lobbies. You can access this system through our website, irctax.com, and we look forward to seeing you.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. My name is Vicki Soulé, and I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. We're delighted each week to bring you news from around our county. Sometimes it's not so much news as it might be a health preventative measure, a focus on getting medications at a better price, something very health related. But oftentimes we're privileged to have guests here that help us understand what goes on in our own community, because good health is about more than just what your body's doing. It's the whole environment, whether it is social or environmental or, heaven forbid, political. That adds a little stress to all of us these days. So we're delighted that you're here, and even more delighted that we're having guests on that have not been with us here before. We'll have to correct that and have you back. The folks from the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council. Have I got that right, Tom?
You got it right. You've gotten it right every time.
Okay. It's a mouthful. Terry's got the longest title I've encountered in a long time, but you look able to handle the entourage. So what we've been talking about is the council is one of 10
across the
state that helps with everything that could be planned for, whether it's an emergency plan or something like economics, which we hope is not an emergency, although in housing seems to be these days.
Yes.
So I guess I've got you caught up a little bit, and I'd like you to go back and talk about how you do the strategic plan where everybody gets together once every 5 years in each council, and how the general public might be involved in that.
Sure, and actually I'm going to ask Terry to
Okay.
take that. She's the project manager. So.
Yep.
Aha.
So the whole process is every 5 years we get together and do the big rewrite on the plan. Although every year it's reviewed and amended, so it's an ongoing process. So for this big 5-year plan rewrite, we held a summit in March. We invited folks from all 4 counties to come and provide their feedback. And we also did a SWOT analysis. That was a big component of the region, reviewing our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
And that primarily involved your members, the council, county commissioners, and those
yes,
folks?
not only was it open to the public though. We had county commissioners, we had folks from economic development organizations, the different municipalities within the region, and nonprofits as well. A lot of folks. It was
sounds like
folks from the restaurant community. We had Kyle G there, and other sorts of businesses as well.
Okay, and this involved folks all the way from Palm Beach County up through Indian River County.
Correct, yes.
That's a big summit.
We had over 110 people.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so is it like other summits where there's some information presented to kind of give them history if they hadn't been actively involved? and then moving on to
Yes.
the wish list or the parking lot,
Yes.
as they call them sometimes.
We had in the morning. We had some background information from our Economic Development Administration representative, Greg Viday. We also heard from the Florida Chamber Foundation, where he talks about the different metrics and
different metrics, and then kind of state of the economy, those sorts of things, to really kind of background everybody on sort of where we stand today.
Yep. And we also held 2 panels, one discussing workforce development, and my mind's drawing a blank right now on the second one. Do you remember, Tom?
It was, now you're putting me on the spot.
That's okay. We'll come back to it.
Yes.
That's okay.
We'll
No
come
need
back.
to do
Let me
that.
think about that.
So you had both said earlier that you have a web page that has a lot of these things. Was that a videotaped day
Yes.
where
Yes, it
folks
was.
could
Yes.
participate after the fact?
Yes,
Okay.
we actually have a YouTube channel. We don't.
Even better.
I don't think we qualify for a short YouTube channel title, but it's linked to our website. We don't have as many subscribers.
But it really is interesting, particularly if you have migrated into this community from someplace up north where you might be much more familiar with how things are done up there. And so I'm going to ask, is this pretty common across all the states, or is this something...
Yes.
The comprehensive economic development strategy concept is common across the United States. It's funded by the Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration, so a federal agency. But the structure of the Regional Planning Council is very state specific.
Okay.
There are different states do that different ways. Their councils have different levels of authority. Some states don't have them at all. But I think it's a good model that we certainly recommend for other people to do.
And again, that's one of those things where if you're not actively involved or know someone that is, it just kind of happens in the background.
Right.
And yet I'm very grateful to know that there's that communication, that coordination, and not only looking forward, but from where we're at now and what's happened before, so that there's that perpetual growth and development of thinking.
Yep.
And we aren't just spinning our wheels or trying to reinvent the wheel, as it were. So what kinds of things came up? Anything in particular in the last couple months you want to share with us? Things that people might want to look at or look for on the YouTube channel?
It was a great discussion. We had a lot of things identified. One of the goals going into it was there's been so much, kind of, I don't know, bad news, if you will.
Last 2 years have not been easy.
Impacts of the pandemic and all those things, but. One of the things that we were able to fish out is that, strangely enough, that there were successes that happened in it and pivoting that happened in it. And, one of the things that I think has come out clearly as a need is for a digital commerce presence, a web presence for business. And it's, back in the old days, it used to be you weren't a legitimate business unless you were listed in the yellow pages. Right. If you're not on the web now, I think you're felt not to be a legitimate business. And people really use that as a source of information, and they do a lot of commerce that way, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And yet, it's not easy for everyone.
Right.
Some businesses are kind of stuck where they were.
Yeah.
And so that is a great opportunity, and I look forward to hearing more about how that's progressing under the leadership of the council and the development at each of the communities, because I'm sure that this must be an inspiration to the county folks that are there to take back and continue some of these conversations on their own.
Yes, absolutely. That's the hope of it. We have a staff of 10. So we're covering 4 counties. There's not a lot that we can physically do ourselves to advance these efforts, but by coordinating the efforts of others and inspiring others, that's where we can really accomplish things.
Well, you've inspired me today. I have to say that.
That's wonderful.
So, thank you very much for being here. I know with the staff of 10, every hour counts. So again, thank you very much. And thank you for being with us to the end. I hope that this has been beneficial for you to learn and understand, and that we'll see you again next week. Thank you, and have a great day.